Hey guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I give you something to meditate on or journal about. Today, I'd like you to think about this. You create your own magic. You create your own future. You don't need to be chosen. You don't need to wait to be chosen. We are the creators of our own destiny. And we have a responsibility to ourselves to create our lives. So I may have told you like once or 1,000 times over the last 28 days that I have been reading the book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And today is day 28 of 28. So y'all, I made it. Yay! I did 28 days of gratitude lists in the morning and revisiting the blessings of my day at bedtime, and then a whole variety of gratitude practices spread throughout the day. And I am feeling pretty magical for sure. One of my most interesting and I think impactful takeaways that I've had, and I've had a lot of different takeaways from this whole experience, but one of the most impactful has been this realization that we have everything inside of us that we need. We have all of the answers that we want and all of the tools that we need. It's already there. We just need to listen to hear it. Now, a big portion of this book and this practice is the law of attraction and manifestation. And we have talked about both of those concepts before because I absolutely love them and totally believe them. But it's been a minute, so I think we could use just like a little bit of a refresher. The law of attraction is based on the idea that like attracts like. So that means like what we put out into the world, like our thoughts and our feelings and our energy, that's what we attract back into our lives. And so if we focus on things like gratitude and on abundance and on positive energy, we invite those experiences into our reality. But if instead we focus on negativity and fear and lacking, then we manifest more of those experiences in our lives. And so the key to the law of attraction is that we need to align our thoughts and our emotions and our energy with what we truly want, not with what we fear or what we lack. And scientifically speaking, because I know this sounds all a little woo-woo, Jen, I get it. But scientifically speaking, the law of attraction is linked to concepts in quantum physics. Specifically, it's the idea that everything in the universe is made up of energy, and our thoughts carry a vibrational frequency. And so neuroscience also plays a role because our brain, its activating systems, filter out information that doesn't align with what we focus on. So that when we set our clear intentions, our brains, they start to notice opportunities that align with those intentions. And this is why people who practice like positive visualizations and practice gratitude often find that they start seeing more possibilities and more solutions around them. Manifestation then is the process of bringing our desires into our realities by setting our intentions and believing and taking action. So it's not just about like sitting around wishing for something to happen. It's about taking actionable steps that are aligned with our desires, that are going towards the goal, while at the same time maintaining the faith that it's already on the way to happening. It's already on its way to us. And a lot of times people assume that manifestation just means thinking about something and thinking it into existence. But that's only such a small part of it. Manifestation is the process of bringing our desires into our reality, using intention and belief and action. So it's not just about wishing for something to happen. It's about taking those actionable steps that are aligned with our desires towards that goal, while, yes, maintaining the faith that it is on its way to us. A lot of times, I think people tend to assume that manifestation just means thinking something into existence. But that's a small part of it, because manifestation also requires action. We need to align our behaviors and our choices and our mindset with what we want to create in our life. But I think sometimes when we are manifesting something, we kind of expect it to just like show up at the door and wow, look at that, my dream, it's arrived. And while yes, I totally admit that sometimes packages that I've ordered, when they arrive, I do feel that way, but it doesn't work with manifestation. Manifestation is also about recognizing opportunities when they come into our sphere, recognizing them and having the courage to take those opportunities. Because when we set our intentions, the universe often responds by placing us in situations where we can achieve our goals. But it's still up to us to take the action. And sometimes the path, it isn't direct, and the manifestation may even come in unexpected ways. But we need to stay open to the possibilities and trust that even sometimes setbacks are just part of the journey towards our goals. Now, lately, in the last 28 days, I have been thinking about a lot of things. I've been thinking about my why. What is my why? Have you asked yourself that question? I think it's a good thing to ask yourself regularly, like whether to find your focus or to make it through something that's challenging, or sometimes you just need it to get out of bed in the morning. It's a question that can have anything from a very simple answer to get very deep very quickly. I know that even in like a lot of the workouts that I'll do at some point, and it's funny because I had been thinking about this, but yesterday I was doing a run and same kind of thing, that usually it's like when you're nearing the end, when we're like exhausted and we need a reason to keep going, but the instructor will say something like, remember your why, or remember why you started, or what is your why? And I do feel like maybe it's because of that, but I feel like it's a practice that I do then take into other areas of my life. So it definitely makes sense to ask it here and now. I have been working just probably because of being January and because of doing this practice at the start of the year and everything, but I've been working on a number of projects lately. And I feel like there are so many different moving parts and pieces, and sometimes it's easy to lose sight of the overall picture. Like, what holds all of this together? So it's at points like this that I think remembering your why, it helps. Why did you start? Why are you doing this? What is your why? And when you're looking at your purpose or at a goal, it's helpful to get there by maybe considering your what. So if you're trying to find your why and maybe struggling a bit, maybe start by asking what it is that you want. And from there, then you can try to find your why. So like, what do I want to do? Well, maybe you want to finish your degree. Why? Maybe it's to set an example for your children, to show them the value of following through on like their dreams, and to teach them about doing hard work and to get into a better career so that you can better provide for your family. So maybe ultimately the overall betterment of your family then is your why. or like when I was mid-run, or if you're like in the middle of that workout and the instructor says that, maybe you think, what do I want to do here? Well, I want to complete this run. I want to finish this workout strong. Well, why? Well, for my health, to know that I'm doing everything that I possibly can to stay strong and stay fit, so I can continue to move around without having pain or stiffness or facing other age-related issues. And yes, so I can put on whatever cute outfits I want and feel confident in how I look. So our why, it's our reason to start, and it's our reason to keep going. When I think about this podcast and I think about what is my why, for the work that I do here, if I were to really simplify for my goals and greater purpose and vision, a huge part of my why is connection. To connect with you, to connect you with each other, to normalize the feelings and the experiences that you're having at this stage of your life, so that you feel that connection and that you know you're not alone. And to empower other women through that connection. Because I know that raising teenagers can oftentimes feel lonely and thankless and just really hard. And then on top of that, being in midlife is often hard in and of itself, both physically and emotionally. So not only then is my why to empower you in your roles and in your relationships, but my why is to connect to you to help you feel less alone in this journey. And so our why, it's our motivation. It's the fuel that kind of drives us along. It's the reason that we push forward. It's the emotional core behind what we do. And it goes along with our purpose, in that our purpose is like that overarching mission. It's what guides our actions, that kind of big picture. It's the impact that we want to create in the world. So then our why is kind of at the center of all of that. It keeps it going. It's like that heartbeat of our purpose. And without a strong why, sometimes our purpose then can feel vague, or it can feel like it's unachievable. But if we can clarify our why, our purpose then can become much more actionable and much more aligned with who we are and more sustainable for what we're doing. Now, in my case, my why, which we've said is my drive to connect and to empower and to help women to feel less alone. And that shapes my purpose, which is to help you find, or to help you elicit your own purpose. Each thing that I do, every piece of work that I put out, whether it's in this podcast or in my writing or in my teaching or in my coaching, it all ties back to that core why. And my why, it gives my life purpose, and it ensures that my work is going to remain meaningful and fulfilling. And your why, it's going to be personal to you. But when it's connected to a broader purpose, it will help you to shape the way that you just show up in the world. It can help you to shape all of the decisions that you make and the impact that you leave. Because when we step back and we look at our why and we really examine it, we can see that it's the foundation for everything else. It's what drives us forward. It's what keeps us going on the hard days. And it's what gives meaning to what we do. So what's your why? Maybe you are in a season of life where you feel your why is super clear and very strong. Or maybe you're in a season where you're trying to find it, or maybe you're trying to refine it, or maybe you're trying to just redefine it entirely. But it is important to know your why because you create your own magic. You create your own future. You don't need to be chosen. You don't need to wait to be chosen. You are the creator of your own destiny. We all are the creators of our destiny, and we have a responsibility to ourselves to create our life. Thank you so much for listening today and always. If you have enjoyed the show, if it's resonated with you, I would be so grateful if you would share it with your friends. That's how we will grow our community. Find me on socials. It's Reframing Me everywhere. And until next time, be well and communicate.